lovely, beautiful, wonderful viewers and subscribers alike. I hope everyone is having a very wonderful day. Today's video is very special to me, so this is something I really want to dive into. My very first video, I spoke about how I just turned 22 and how being 22, I wanted to no longer be scared. I wanted to take up space. I wanted to just be out there more. I didn't want to fear anything. I just didn't want to be ruled by like my anxiety and things alike. So I thought, why not make a video off of that and talking about being 22 and things that I've learned at 22. We're gonna dive into 22 things I learned at 22, and you already know I'm gonna do a cute makeup look because why not? Who doesn't love a little makeup and chit chat? A little healing session and a little makeup, okay? So to keep it short, sweet, and simple, and right to the point, I just wrote down everything and we're literally gonna go through all of this together. Being 22 is like a very weird place, I feel like, because to adults, like to people 30, late 20s and above, they feel like 22, like you're still a child. Like they still view you as a kid. And then of course to the people who are younger than 22, like teenagers and the little babies, they see you as 22. Like when I tell my little sister I'm 22, she's like, oh my God, you're like 100. And I'm like, okay, like, dang, not too much. At 22, so 22 things I've learned at 22. The first thing I've learned is that it's okay to be alone. A lot of people feel like they need to have somebody around them, and you genuinely do not need people around you to be great or even to just do anything. Like learn to love yourself, learn to do things alone, learn to just value yourself. Like you don't need to always be with people. You don't always need to do stuff with people. You don't need to always have a friend around you. Like just be alone, I want to say, for like at least a month or two. Just prioritize yourself and be with yourself. Take care of you and see how much that's gonna shift. It's gonna be really weird in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, because you're gonna be like, whoa, like I'm lonely. Like I need somebody here, please. But a lot of the times you feel lonely because you're low-key running from something, it's internally, that you don't want to address. So it's like you want to be around people to distract you from what's really affecting you. Second thing I've learned since being 22 is that you don't have to do what you see other people doing around you. Be yourself and you will attract like-minded things and people. Yeah, that one is pretty self-explanatory. Like I feel like when we're young, it's so easy to want to be in the mix. Like you see people, and then we have social media, which makes things like even harder, but we see people around us doing all these things and you feel like you have to be a part of that to fit in, I guess, or to be in the mix. Like, and it's okay to not be in the mix. Like it's okay to sit back and chill and just vibe out. Like you don't have to do what you see everyone else doing around you just to feel cool. You're gonna ask, how do I attract that? Like how do I tap into that? And I'm gonna tell you a little further down the list. 3 is to take care of your body. Well, that's not how I wrote it. I wrote it with a little exclamation point. So I'll read it how I wrote it. So I said, take care of your body. Go on walks, go to the gym, do yoga, take a workout class, etc. It's easy to take our health for granted when we're young, but it's imperative to start now. So I want to really emphasize that, like a lot of us, you know, we're young, we're 22, we're younger, we're in our 20s, whatever. And our bodies are not catching up to our lifestyles yet. I mean, some of us, we may have like back pain, knee pain, all that neck pain here and there, but like as we get older, those things are gonna it's gonna get worse. It's gonna feel more intense because we're older, our bodies are shutting down. You wanna make sure you're ahead of the curve by taking care of your body from now. So number 4, your mental health is a top priority. So to add, therapy is okay. I know in the Black community especially, therapy is not really normalized, and sometimes your parents don't make it a safe space for you to actively seek out therapy, especially if you're younger. When you're older and you're able to, you know, make your own decisions and take the initiative yourself without the chatter in the back, definitely seek out therapy. Don't feel bad if you need to seek that. Like there's nothing wrong with therapy, I promise. Number 5, this is a really big one. So I'm gonna read exactly what I wrote down. So this one says, set boundaries in your life with friends, families, and strangers alike. Not only is it a measurement of your self-respect, it makes relationships throughout your life easier. Boundaries, I really didn't understand, for real, I'm not even gonna lie, until a couple of years ago. It really clicked for me why it's important and why you should be setting them, because people will really they will dog walk you if you don't have any boundaries. You need boundaries in your life. I don't care who you are, what you think. You need boundaries, babe. In adulthood, especially, people are going to do their best to take advantage of you, especially if they feel like they don't know any better. There's a lot of sneaky and conniving people out there, y'all. So stay on 10 toes, set boundaries. Don't allow nobody to play with you. I don't care. I just don't care. You're no longer a child, and you no longer have to feel like you have to allow disrespect or you have to allow people to play with you because you're not an adult. Like, you're actually an adult now. You're allowed to make your own decisions. Do not allow people to play with your top. Have an idea of what you want to accept in life and let people know this is a non-negotiable. Like, I'm not letting up off this boundary. So while I'm about to put my lashes on, stay in the sun sometimes. Like, literal instant dopamine. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a fire sign. Like, the sun is literally so healing, you guys. The sun is your best friend. The next one is 6 and 7 go hand in hand. So wear sunscreen. It helps with your skin for aging. You know, I know the black don't crack, but still, just be mindful about sunscreen. Like, it's very important. Okay. 8, lazy days are okay. You don't have to be at 100% every single day. If you're Caribbean, I know it's different because your parents, every day you need to be doing something. Okay, it don't matter what it is, you gotta get up and find something to do. But it's okay if you don't have nothing to do. Like, it's okay if some days you just need to lay in bed and rot. Like, that's my favorite thing to do. I love to rot in bed. The next one on the list is for college grads. If you did graduate at 22, if you didn't, that's fine. But, or even just high school, if you finished at high school. Life after school may feel uncomfortable and unplanned. Just know that it's the beginning of your journey and it will play out in your favor. Just do the necessary work. I know when I graduated, I felt what next? Like, what is this? What am I supposed to do now? Like, I just didn't really understand what life was gonna look like for me. Life after school, like once you graduate, is a very uncomfortable feeling, and I'm well aware of how that may feel. I luckily was blessed enough to have something once I graduated, like a role after graduation. A lot of people don't really always have that, and a lot of people sometimes have to just start wherever they can. If that can mean like going back to retail, like, you know, working the same job that you had in college. And honestly, in today's economy, there also is nothing wrong with that. Like, sometimes that just has to be the case. Don't feel bad if that's your circumstance, because it's so like, life humbles and it's so easy. But once again, this is the beginning of your journey. So wherever you are after school, that's not where you'll be indefinitely. The next one is be emotionally intelligent. Be aware of what you're saying, how you're making people feel. Be aware of your own emotions. Learn to accept your emotions and allow yourself to feel your emotions. It's okay to feel down or sad or whatever the case may be, but allow yourself to feel that, because it's very necessary. Number 11, reach out to people you love here and there, especially when you're thinking of them. Put your pride aside. It doesn't have to be like, they don't reach out to me. Don't have that mentality. I know it's very easy to think that way, because I think that way sometimes too. I'm like, they don't text me, I'm not texting them. But sometimes just put your pride aside and just reach out and tell them like, hey, I'm thinking of you, I hope you're okay. You never know who needs it, for one. And two, it's like, everyone's time here is temporary, and a lot of us forget that. But you just want to make sure the people that you love and the people around you are feeling that. You want to make sure they feel important and, you know, reminded that somebody is thinking of them. So this is number 12. Take every day as an experience. Find things to be grateful for. I can't express how important it is to express gratitude. When you are grateful for the things around you, it makes receiving your blessings feel so much better, because you're able to really understand and really put into perspective like how you've had this and you were fine, like you're grateful for what you have, and now you were blessed with something that you've always imagined and always have dreamed of, and it just feels great. Okay, number 13. So to be the best version of yourself, you have to acknowledge your wrongs and be okay with being the bad guy sometimes. To be a mature adult, you need to be able to make sure you can acknowledge it. Okay, I was wrong. Nothing wrong with being wrong. What's wrong is like when you're wrong and you're not trying to take no accountability whatsoever. Then it's like, bro, you're a child. Why can't you take accountability for what you're doing? Number 14. When it feels like all is going wrong at once, you're being prepared for a new season. Things will get better. Although it feels intense in the moment and it's like, oh my goodness, like what next? I can't keep taking this. You just feel defeated. You just want to just curl up in a ball and cry and bawl your eyes out. I understand. You just have to look at it with a mindset like you're gonna come out of this predicament or this issue stronger than you were when you first entered it. 15. If you're not invited, do not go. If you were not invited, don't press to go. Don't ask nobody any questions. Why didn't you invite me? Don't question, because clearly they didn't want you there, unfortunately. You don't need to fit in nowhere. If they didn't want you there, they didn't want you there. That's just that on that. Number 16. Not everyone is your friend and not everyone hates you. A lot of people are living in their own lives and you just can't take in little things that, you know, they may project onto you or whatever the case may be. That doesn't mean they hate you. They can just be going through a war in their own minds and they're not even focused on how they're spitting out their energy to the people around them or to the world around them. Like they're just focused on what's going on in their head because it may feel so intense in there that they're not even worried about, oh, what did I just do to Imani, or how did I just make Imani feel? They're not worried about that. Number 17. Not as many people are worried about you in a negative instance like you think. Yeah, so people aren't tripping over you like how you think they are, unless you like genuinely have ops and you be fighting for your life every day. I think people are not tripping about you. Everyone is just trying to make it day by day. They're going through their own things that they don't talk about. They're not tripping. So number 18, tell your parents how much you love and appreciate them. I guess this could be subjective depending on like your relationship. Not everyone does have a great relationship with their parents, and I acknowledge that. But if you do have a healthy relationship with your parents, tell them you love them and tell them you appreciate them and how grateful you are for all that they do for you. Tell them how grateful you are, all that they do for you, and let them know that, because they won't be here forever, sadly. And we want them to feel as appreciated and loved while they're here. Number 19, I kind of spoke on this earlier, but allow yourself to feel emotions. If you feel like you need to cry, please cry. Don't hold in that energy. It needs to be released. Like genuinely allow yourself to cry. I don't care if you're a man. I don't care if you feel like you're the toughest person on the planet. Allow yourself to cry. If I feel like everything's going wrong, or if I feel like whatever, I'm gonna just cry. I'm gonna cry first, figure it out later. That's just my motto. Number 20 is be kinder to past versions of yourself as well as the present version, the current you. It's very easy to think back to who we were 2, 5, 4, 7 years ago and be like, whoa, like be like, ew, why was I like this? And it's just, I understand. I know what it's like to be judging like who you were as a kid, but don't be nice to them. Like be nice to him or her. They deserve better. They deserve love too. They were also experiencing life for the first time and did things in the moment that they thought were the right things. And the only reason you know now that these things are wrong is because they went through those things for the present. You understand why you shouldn't go through that in the future. So the good and the bad, they all shape you to be who you are today. 21, you can't change anyone. You can advise, but don't take in situations as your own. Last but not least, Number 22. I can't believe I'm 22. Like, that's really insane. Aging is a blessing. Do not fear 30. Do not fear 40. Do not fear 50. It is a blessing to be able to wake up and say, I'm 22, or whatever age you are watching this. I'm 17, I'm 25, I'm 26. It is such a great blessing to be able to wake up and say that you've made it to an age. There are so many people who do not get to experience the age you are currently experiencing, and you need to be grateful that God allowed you to see another year and that you are experiencing another year of life. Don't fear it. Who cares if you get a little wrinkle here or there? Like, who cares? It honestly means nothing. Your beauty and your youth, I know a lot of people feel like it's something that's external, but beauty is also internal. Who you are as a person shows, it speaks much louder than anything on the outside will show. So be a good person internally, and that will literally show itself externally. I'm super happy that this one came out so much cuter. Thank you guys. Love you. See you in the next video.